Namaskar and welcome to this special edition of Sikkim Chronicle. I am at the stakeholders meet organized by Gangtok Smart City Development Limited and I am with its CEO Mr. Tarzan Subba. Sir, what was the stakeholders meeting all about and what are the points that were discussed today?
So this meeting was with regards the various projects that are being undertaken by Gangtok Smart City Development Limited, and say that almost all the projects that my company is undertaking under the banner of Smart City Gangtok cannot be done singularly. We need the cooperation, support, logistic, uh, technical, all support from line departments and who are basically the stakeholders of the city. So in order to have a one-on-one interaction with them, to share our challenges, our difficulties, and seek their advices and cooperation in executing the projects under the Gangtok Smart City Development Limited, this meeting was held.
Some of the important points that were brought in the meeting included infrastructure projects, yeah, that the company has been trying to do. Can you highlight some of the important projects that the Smart City project is doing?
Uh, as I mentioned in my keynote address, that by the time the Model Code of Conduct was implemented in early March this year, the Gangtok Smart City Development Limited had already put to tenders almost 14 different projects, ambitious projects, of which 4 had already taken up, and these 4 are underway. This include the retrofitting, rejuvenating, redevelopment of palace, which is underway, which is in good progress. The other one is rainwater harvesting. We are targeting the institutional areas for, so we have been installed, we have implemented these schemes mostly in schools, colleges and hospital areas. Okay. The other one in the pipeline, which will soon be starting, are the improvements of roads and junctions and improvement of existing footpath from 0 point to Rainipol. So these, there are various parameters, or you can say principles, on which the smart city is designed, or smart city should work. Like mobility is one of them. This improvement of existing roads and junction and footpaths is one of them.
One question I wanted to ask was, is Smart City project in line with the sustainable development and to further ease of living in the capital?
See, the very concept of smart city emanates from the concept of ease of living. You know, uh, there was a time when people used to move towards the city for a better life, to fulfill their dreams. Of late, urbanization has taken place so rapidly and in such a huge way, and cities have become so packed, mismanaged to a great extent, you know. And there was a school of thought, there was a group of people who were after exploring the possibilities of how can cities be made again livable, mobility, the ease of living, sustainable development, how environmentally friendly you are. These are the factors which will decide, the quality of life in a city. So considering, keeping these factors in mind, the projects under Gangtok Smart City Limited were envisaged, and we are in the executing phase.
Okay, so how long will it take for Gangtok to see the results of whatever is going on in Smart City project?
Yes. Again, there's this 3-year medium. I would like to bring it to the notice of all the citizens of Gangtok. The basic fact about how the things get delayed, I made it a point to explain in my keynote address as well. The basic difference between the planning in the advanced countries or the first world countries and the planning in developing countries like ours. In the advanced countries and the first world countries, maximum amount of time, energy, field report, survey, feasibility report, assessments, all are given top priorities. They spend huge amount of time in planning. And after that is concluded, some work is put to tender, and all this before the project starts, all the encumbrances like NOCs for different line department, different agencies are all worked out, sat together, worked out, and mitigated. And when the work is put to tender, everything is ready, and there is a concept of the very concept of putting a time limit for a contractor to complete a particular project. Now the concept of time limit comes when everything is in ready, but in a developing country like ours, it doesn't happen that way. It's an open secret that planning is very poor. We are not we don't spend much time in planning. In fact, the reverse is true. When the when the a work is put to tender, after that all these clearance, everything comes up. And I think there are ample examples of such a thing happening, why a project get delayed because this clearance from this organization is pending, this and that. Given that fact, Gangtok Smart City also is facing this kind of constraints. In fact, the very principle behind conducting this stakeholder meeting was to, to streamline, to reduce these hiccups where all the stakeholders are gathered together. We present our challenges, problems, and we seek the cooperation from respective departments so that, the project can be speeded up and it can be completed within the stipulated time period.
So how has the response been from other stakeholders, including other line departments?
Yeah, as you say, you witnessed the deliberation. All line departments were so cooperative, cooperative, and they expressed their support, and whatever kind of logistic they that we need, they are ready to support. It was a very fruitful meeting, and certainly we'll have to follow up. My people at the Gangtok Smart City Development Limited will follow up with the respective line departments, and we have different teams for different schemes and different projects, because each project is unique. Apart from the civil work, each project is unique. So in the subsequent days, we'll pursue with each line department, and we'll try to coordinate with them and have the things done within the time frame that we have been allowed or asked to do.
One of the prime issue that Gangtokians are facing is about the traffic jam, and the Gangtok has been nicknamed a jam talk. So, like, how does Smart City address that, and what can people of Gangtok expect from Smart City project with regards to traffic jams?
That was one of the burning topics that was discussed in the meeting as well. Uh, as far as Gangtok is concerned, let me put it this way. We were not given a flat land, open space, and asked to design a smart city, as I said in my speech. We were asked or given the responsibility, although we got selected through competition, we were given the responsibility to design a smart city in an already existing city. On top of that, given the kind of terrain that we find, steep terrain, very, the leveling of roads, the geometrics, we have a tough task. And being a hill station, our road is, on one side we have the cliff, on the other side we have the hill. And if you see the turnings and all, turnabouts and all, those are also very narrow. So what our engineers and planners did is, we identified certain interventions along the national highway from 0 point to Ranipur, and we have identified around 18 points where we found that something can be done about them, like improving certain junctions, wherever space available, wherever there is a possibility to in leveling, because traffic jam takes place because of so many factors. One is the turning. Very sharp, narrow turnings are there, where and vehicles cannot pass through very easily. We are trying to improve those. So, traffic jam also takes up is also because of the gradient of road. So we are trying to improve upon that. And above that, we must be smart enough. Ultimately, Gangtok Smart City is for the Gangtokians, we the citizens. It is we the Gangtokians who will reap its benefit. So we should be conscious enough. We should be smart enough to find ways and means. What Gangtok Smart City Development Limited is doing in improving improving the traffic issue of Gangtok is a small step, which we are trying to mitigate through improvements through civil works and some construction infrastructural developments. There is equal amount of solution that we expect from the legislation point of view also, like the ownership of car, limitations. Something has to be done. So our effort is small. Similarly, if we talk about Gangtok, my friend, one of my friends who is in the States, said that Gangtok is a walkable city.
So when will Gangtok be a complete smart city?
Yeah, this is a subjective question actually. Uh, Let me tell you, someone said, smart city is not an end in itself. It is a process. Different cities will achieve different level of maturity in different areas, in different times. So you will not have a complete smart city anywhere in the world. Cities are organic. It grows. So you're talking about the level of maturity. Now Gangtok, if you come again, the concept of smart city varies from city to city, from country to country, and from economies to economies. Maybe in states or in the Western developed countries, the concept of smart city is different because their maturity level is different. For Indian subcontinent and state like Sikkim, we have a little different concept of smart city. Our maturity level is different. So given that, as I said, it is a continuous process. Maybe the parameters and in which we are not that mature. Maybe once we complete the first phase, the targets we have set for ourselves, maybe we'll go for other parameters in the next phase. Having said that, technically speaking, smart city is supposed to be completed within 36 months. Okay, a smart city project in 36 months. But because of the the what understandable delays because of so many constraints and dynamics, I think it will take. I think it will take 1 or 1.5 year more than what the time schedule has been fixed for. I said, Gangtok is a walkable city. So if we motivate people to walk, then I think it will contribute in reducing the vehicular traffic. So something within the citizens also have to come out. It's not always the facilitator who using whose services you can. Something has to be come from inside. Like sometime there was a time when I recently felt that instead of going in a vehicle, I should walk. If someone more will follow, I think vehicular traffic will reduce to a great extent.
So do you think Gangtokians are aware and the awareness level has reached at least certain levels here?
Yeah, I think everybody is going by the comments, going by the posts that they share on social media, print media, and whatever media available. The awareness is there, but awareness is one step towards solving a problem. Now the action has to be there. Awareness is there. Everybody knows you have to move 2 hours ahead of time if you want to reach the destination as scheduled. But that awareness is there. But now action has to be there. And action has to be a joint action. Government alone cannot do everything. People alone cannot do it. It has to be a joint effort.
So as an individual, I'm asking you, what are some of the important steps that citizens can take?
See, when when you are aware that you are facing some problem, you know, it is a basic human tendency or nature that we oppose change. So that mindset we have to change. We should be welcoming change. Transformation is important. Change and transformation bring progress. It will help you grow. And that is what I said, during the time of implementation or execution of the project, there might be some discomfort to the citizens of Gangtok. But I request all of them to bear with us for a few months, the difficulties in traffic, maybe when our project will start off roads and junctions, maybe there will be some problems, some issues, so discomfort I'll rather say. I request all of them to bear with us for a few days, a few months. Then we can reap the benefits later. In order to have a comfort, zone at a later stage, a better comfort, bigger comfort, maybe we have to compromise a little bit of the present comfort. That's what I would say.
In that note, thank you so much for talking to Sikkim Chronicle, and we wish you all the best for the project.
Thank you.
This is Nitesh R Pradhan for Sikkim Chronicle reporting from Gangtok.